The darkest web.
Greetings, faithful minions. It's time. All our pining and longing is sated because at last it is October. Halloween is so close now we can practically taste it. So let me tell you about some things online that will help you savor all the spooky goodness that this magical month has to offer. Pumpkins, the emblematic fruit of fall. What would Halloween be without them? We bake them, decorate with them, and of course, carve them up. And there's one guy who is truly a standout in the world of pumpkin carving. You likely know him, but for those who don't, you simply must look up Ray Villafane. He's originally from New York, but now resides in Arizona. He's been a sculptor for several notable companies, including McFarlane Toys, Sideshow Collectibles, DC Comics, Blizzard Entertainment, and Hasbro. In 2007, he competed in a Food Network show called Outrageous Pumpkins, and he blew his competitors away. He returned to the show in 2009 and won again, and in 2011, he carved the world's largest pumpkin to look like it was bursting open with zombies. His pumpkin sculptures are truly incredible. It's not surprising that he's often been called the greatest pumpkin carver in the world and the Michelangelo of pumpkin carving. Go look around his website at villafanestudios.com. That's VILLAFANESTUDIOS. And be sure to check out the shop section where you can purchase pumpkin carving tools, how-to DVDs, legs and arms that look like pumpkin vines that you can attach to your own jack-o'-lanterns, books, t-shirts, and wall decor. And if you happen to be near, take a trip to the little town of Carefree, Arizona to check out the Enchanted Pumpkin Garden Festival, which will be open October 18th to 27th. There you can check out 4 acres full of Villafane's carvings, shop in the harvest market, compete in a costume contest, and enjoy beer and live music. For details, definitely check out the show notes or simply do a web search for Carefree, Arizona Pumpkin Garden. Another spot I think most folks probably know about is the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. It's a sprawling mansion and former residence of Sarah Winchester, the heiress of the Winchester rifle fortune. Legend has it that Sarah was convinced that the spirits of those who had died by Winchester gunfire were haunting her, and in an attempt to confuse and deter the ghosts, she ordered around-the-clock renovations to be done to her home, many of which make no architectural sense at all. Staircases to nowhere, doors that open into floorless rooms, and so on. Well, this year, the Winchester House will be hosting a Halloween attraction called Unhinged. Some rooms that have never been opened to the public before will be part of the walkthrough, and costumed actors will haunt the halls. Check out the details at winchesterunhinged.com. Also, while you're there, you can admire an incredible gingerbread replica of the mansion done by none other than Christine McConnell. Yep, the same Christine McConnell I keep singing the praises of. You can see an awesome video featuring the incredible 500-pound cookie mansion on YouTube. I've included a link to that in the show notes. If you're in the market for some really great vintage-inspired Halloween stuff, definitely pop on by creepycompany.com. They have several different collections of cool stuff, but make sure you check out the 2019 Beistle collection. Yep, the famed Beistle Company, maker of ultra-cool, old-timey Halloween decorations. They've got all sorts of awesome new goods, but I'll mention a few favorites. Those old plastic blow mold figures that are a classic staple of Halloween decor, well, now you can have a mini version. You can choose between a ghost holding a jack-o'-lantern or a black cat with a jack-o'-lantern on his back. Both are 7 inches high and will cost $25 each. They've got some great men's button-up shirts, which are $40 each, and tons of excellent designs on t-shirts and sweatshirts. They have classic Beistle wall decorations, patches, and the coolest socks I've ever seen. They have a Beistle collector's pack for $99, which features a whole big assortment of exclusive stuff. And they have a pajama set for $50 that features a print of leering skulls, wailing cats, spiders, bats, and floating 31s. They have really cute little orange cuffs at the wrist and ankle. Those run from extra small all the way through 3X and are unisex. You know, I think these would look fantastic on every member of the Scream team to take a family photo in together. Can't you just picture JT in Halloween jammies? Aww. If you don't already know the name Johanna Parker, then please go do a web search for her now. That's spelled Johanna. She's an artist who designs and creates all manner of awesome Halloween-themed goods, like fabrics, figurines, banners, wood cutouts, ornaments, and, well, you get the idea. She does other themes too, like Christmas and just general design, but of course we're focused on Halloween. Her style is whimsical and very much vintage-inspired. You can find her stuff all over the place online, like Etsy, Amazon, and various independent online shops. I'd recommend following her on Instagram at jparkerdesign, and you can find a huge collection of her fabric designs available for custom printing on spoonflower.com, my personal favorite custom fabric website. There's some new spooky streaming shows all available on Netflix. The first we'll talk about is a French series called Marianne. It's about a young woman who's an author of horror books, and her stories are based on childhood nightmares about a witch named Marianne, but it seems that Marianne may not be just a fictional character. I watched the first episode, and while, honestly, I kind of hate the main character, it's got some really good creepy aspects to it, and I think it might be worth a peek. I'll check out another episode. There's also a series called 2-Sentence Horror Stories, which I found pretty entertaining. It's a dark anthology series. Think Black Mirror, but less depressing. It's inspired by the 2-sentence horror story urban legends that can be found on Reddit. Basically, each 20-minute episode starts off with a single-sentence title to set up the story, then weaves through a suspenseful tale, and then ends the episode with the second sentence. It's kind of a neat idea. I've watched the first 2 episodes, and I definitely plan on continuing. Coming soon, also on Netflix, is a series called In the Tall Grass. This show is based on the short story by Stephen King and his son Joe Hill. It's about a young pregnant woman and her brother who happen to hear a young boy calling out for help from a giant field of tall grass. They go in to try and rescue the kid, but then they find themselves lost and trapped as well. It's apparently part psychological thriller, part gorefest, which to me sounds like a potentially fun watch. It's available on October 4th, which I think is the day this episode of Hauntcast drops. There's an artist whose work I find intriguing and disturbing, gory and insightful, and definitely inspiring. Her name is Sarah Sitkin. That's Sarah spelled the usual way. Sitkin is Sitkin. She creates 3-dimensional pieces that take the human form and deconstruct it. Really examine all the weird, gross parts of our physical bodies. A lot of her work is hyper-realistic, made from molding and casting actual bodies. She then assembles the parts in a way that's grotesque, but really captivating. It's impossible to describe exactly how impactful her work is, so please just go look at it for yourself. Of course, a good old Google image search will bring up tons of pictures for you to examine, but there are also a wealth of awesome articles about her online. I'll include links to some of the standout articles in the show notes. You can also follow her on Instagram at Sarah Sitkin. I have just one more recommendation for you. Like most haunters, I have a playlist of Halloween music. I'm not talking about stuff to play in your haunt or atmospheric sounds. I'm talking about fun tunes that really give you that Halloween feeling. Stuff for listening to while you make props or to play at a party. And just when I thought I had found every single spooky song ever to add to my playlist, I discovered a YouTube channel from a woman called Lindsay Holiday. She makes mini documentaries and music videos on a variety of topics, but I am loving her vintage Halloween music playlist. She's got a whopping 90 videos just in that list. My most favorite are the vintage Halloween music playlists that are from specific time periods. She has collections of spooky music organized from eras beginning in the 1910s all the way to the early 2000s. I'm super into all kinds of music, especially music from yesteryear, and there are so many great gems on here that I have never heard of before. I'm sure you'll also find something you like too. Well, I think that's a wrap. Have a truly blessed Samhain and a happy Halloween. But before I release all of you creepy peeps back into the chilly darkness of night, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking a little time to allow morbid old me to bend your ear for a little while each episode. I don't know what the future holds for Hauntcast, but I do know that I have truly loved this show since its inception 10 years ago. I never imagined I'd actually be part of it, and it's been really fun to contribute a little bit to the last 7 episodes. I hope we get to chat again in the future. I'm always capturing new tasty tidbits from around the web, and it's a real pleasure to get to share them with you. Now, you should probably go. Linger too long, and you'll find yourself getting tangled up here in my darkest web.
I'm going now. Heaven help you.
Please like and follow the podcast. Stalk us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Links in the description. And help us by sharing Hauntcast with all your haunted Halloween brethren. Until next time, stay scary.